Hello. All right, we're waiting for everyone to jump on the live call. So, up here's Leslie. Hi, beautiful.
There we go. There's video. Hello, lover. How are
Hi. Oh
you?
my God, it's so good to see you, beautiful sister.
Too. I see you more often because you put your face on social media. I'm not quite there yet, but
Yeah, it takes a lot. It takes a lot to be, like a lot of inner work around feeling safe to be seen and heard.
yes. Sorry, I've got pop-ups here. Go away.
Okay.
Counting.
I love your silver hair. I guess I haven't seen you since 2018.
Since Omega. Yeah, I think I was mostly gray, but I still had some blonde
Right.
blended in there. And then, gosh, it's super
Long.
pandemic long. So I was just like, I haven't had it long since like sixth grade. And
Oh,
I read that hair is an antenna for
yes.
energy and for spirit. So I was like, let's just try it out. See how long I can let it go without it,
Well, it is just
even
gorgeous. I mean, it's
yes.
like it's like hair like a young woman. Like it's just so beautiful. I don't know that I could even grow my hair that long.
Yeah, it just keeps going and
It's
going so far.
magnificent,
Thank
and
you.
I
It
am
is to
just
you.
yeah. So I guess we're waiting for people to pop on live.
Okay, cool.
A lot of women do watch the recording,
Give
so
them a minute. Cool.
yeah, we'll give them a minute. We'll give them a minute, and I'd love to just introduce you and
Talk amongst yourselves.
talk amongst yourself, talk amongst yourself. I'm just so excited. Now, just did you, I mean, I guess I'm just gonna I want to like know from me, like you didn't come to Omega from living in the Pacific Northwest.
I did, yes. Yeah.
You
I've been in
did?
Seattle since graduate school. So,
Really?
yeah.
Where are you? I didn't know that. Where are you originally from?
Um, I'm a migrant soul
I love that.
or migratory, I guess. I was born in Utah.
Okay.
My mom moved us to California pretty young and then moved around lots of different places in California. I'm definitely a West Coast baby. I went to Texas for graduate school, but like ran back because I was a liberal vegetarian and they didn't know what to do with me.
Right, right, right. You're like, whoa. Yeah.
So I came back to the Seattle area because I just like really needed water and trees, water and
Yeah.
trees.
Yes,
They're
yes. I
important
think
medicine for my soul.
yes. Oh my God, here comes Eileen. Yes, I agree.
Oh,
I live near the ocean and I don't know if I could ever not, I'm just so connected to the water. So,
yeah, I had always, when you do these visions of like, what's your perfect place to imagine your future self? Where would you be? I was always living on the ocean, always, always, always. And
uh,
then literally just like I moved into a particular townhome in Seattle area and it was like in the trees. It felt
mm,
like a tree house and like a bald eagle literally like landed right outside my window at eye level in the tree in front of my balcony. And I was just like, I cannot exist without trees since then. That's
yeah,
about 10 years now. I've moved several times. So each time I was like, I need trees. I will move as long as it's to a magical forest. That's my
yeah,
criteria. I told my realtor.
yeah, yeah. I love that. I love that. Okay, well, I had no idea. So then you came a long way to go to the Rebecca Campbell retreat. You came across the country.
Yeah, to that New York area. It's a bit of a trek.
What a
Loved it.
life-changing event that was for us, right? Oh my
Yeah,
God.
such a beautiful experience. I just
Your
have it.
crown?
I do have my crown somewhere. I just a few minutes ago. Oh, here it is. I was moving it around. Have my card from that day. And
Oh,
it was my
yes.
favorite card, of course, the Soul Family with the sweet touching foreheads, little
Oh,
bunny nose touching sweetness.
yeah.
So that was perfect. One of those moments where it's like, this is my favorite
Here
card.
it is.
This is like the purpose of why I'm here, meeting all of these amazing, really high vibe and inspiring women. And so, yeah, this has
Yeah.
been on my altar ever since,
Mm, I
ever
love that.
after.
I I had gone to that retreat reading a paragraph and watching like a 20-second video. I hadn't read any of either of the two books or the one deck at that time.
And for Eileen, who's I think you're on audio, we're
Yes,
talking about
hi
Rebecca
Eileen.
Campbell.
Yeah, we're talking about Rebecca, and Eileen has become a love of Rebecca Campbell through this
Hmm.
group too, because she is just
Hi,
Awesome.
amazing.
yes, I love her. Can you hear me? I love her.
Yes,
She just had a free live meditation today. Like she did like a 3 day
yeah,
workshop and I did everything but the last one today because I had to work and I had a bunch of meetings. But yeah, she's amazing. I love her. But her oracle cards are gorgeous.
They
yeah,
are
Her
so
I
pretty.
love her or yeah, she's
yeah,
wonderful. And we just finished reading her book and yeah, she's
yes.
wonderful. Marcy got me into her.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. I am a big fan. She really that retreat, her that retreat, and then just the sisterhood that happened from that. Like Terry was our guest last month.
Oh, I'm
And
jealous. She's on my list to bring her into my membership circle too, because yeah, she's
yeah,
just so
yeah,
amazing.
have her be like a guest presenter if you have guests, or I don't know if you want to have her as a member or whatever, but like, oh my God.
Yeah,
All
absolutely.
right. Well, I respect your time. I want to keep this tight. Eileen is here and ready, and anyone else that wants to jump on will. And a lot of the women watch it on replay. So I would like to welcome Leslie from Soul Prima Crystals. And as we were saying, Leslie and I connected. I feel like we might have seen each other and like we were somewhat in the close I know our circles were in that corner. We were in that same corner. So we were like in that same energy. And what Leslie does is a guardian of the crystals. She is connected to the magic of crystals, and I'm going to just let you take it away, sweetie. Like, you could talk about them. I introduced the group to like the devas, the energy of like the crystal's essence, and each one has different healing properties. But I know in your space, you've got unbelievable. You can dazzle us and show us and talk about the shapes and all the things that you want to introduce us to. So, welcome.
Awesome. Thank you. Yes. Soul Prima Crystals. I've been doing this shortly after I came back from Omega. I had actually with this guy, you can
Oh,
see this,
dragon.
yeah, Druzy Agate Crystal Dragon. So I was watching a speaker video and she just happened to in passing say, oh yeah, and I got my dragon today. And she held it up to the screen and my whole body just went like, okay, what is that? I replayed it like 8 times. I kept screenshotting it. Is that screenshotting
Yeah, yeah.
it? And
Here.
she said she got it on Etsy. So I went on Etsy and I was scrolling through, the little hearts on things. And I came to this guy and literally it was, and I'd had my first like physical, spiritual, energetic, like all the clairs activate in Italy just the year before for the
Mhm.
first time. Always being sensitive and empath, but not like downloads of information and like movies showing up. And this guy,
Mm.
just from his photo on Etsy, I was like, okay, shit, can I curse?
Yes,
I was
curse
like,
as much as we love to curse.
you have a message, you've got something to say. And then I was like, okay, that makes me nervous. Like, what's that thought about? And I scrolled some more and then I came back and I was like, okay, Leslie, it's okay. Just close your eyes. And I just had that photo on my phone and I just closed my eyes and said, what message do you have for me? And like an entire movie played out in my mind, which had never, I'd had like a little snippet before in Italy, which I think was like kind of like a mediumship sort of thing, you know, like a scene of something that had happened before, but now I got the chills going down.
Yeah.
But this whole movie where I was the dragon and I had been captured, and you know, I had this like chain pulling me down to the left, and I had a broken wing, and I, you know, the whole experience of like feeling disempowered and starting to feel like helpless. And then they like taken my horns as like a trophy, you know, and a source of like, oh, we have dragon magic if we have the horns, kind of a thing. And so, you know, feeling like I'd lost myself, which is sort of where I was at, because I was in this big trauma healing point in my life, from like doing the big, deep, dark shadow work, which is so important, but it's not easy.
Yeah.
And then in the vision or whatever, we would put a name to it, the channeling, the memory. A little child came up and just like, you know, pat my muzzle there and slipped a little ruby into my mouth. And then as soon as that happened, I remembered that I was self-healing, and I started growing back my horns, and I grew fur down my back to hide the horns so that they wouldn't know I was gaining my power back. And as soon as I like got my horns back, I was just like, just poofed on the chain and flew away and met my mate up there. And then just heard this like deep resonance all the way through me. You are more powerful than you remember.
Oh.
And 3 times. Just like went into every cell of my body of just this like rewriting a story. I got chills again now.
Yeah.
It was so magical and surprising and transformative. I hadn't had that type of thing before. I didn't know that type of thing existed. I didn't know people channeled dragons. Now I'm a dragon channeler. I didn't know that was a thing.
Wow. And only from seeing the picture of the dragon?
From seeing the picture. Yeah.
Oh my God, you got a
picture.
whole transmission.
Whole huge thing. And then I've got some cool photos. Like I have like crystal prisms in my window, and these like white dragons kept showing up on my walls.
Mm.
And then I got in like this whole, literally had my whole living room wall covered with post-it notes. I outlined an entire book in the next few days.
Wow.
Like, bam, we're online.
Everything just like that dragon right there. You're like, okay, now you need to come home. This dragon literally became a transmission conduit for you to remember who you really are.
Yeah. Yeah. And to reawaken a whole different realm to me of like accessing the divine, accessing other energies, communicating and sharing those energies, bringing in the healing of that. I do quite a bit of channeling. When people buy a crystal dragon from me, before I ship it, they can do an add-on for a channeling session, and I sit with it and meditate, and then I do what I've now started doing is like an audio recording, because I couldn't write fast enough.
Right.
And now it's morphed into, so much of it is like an energy healing, and I'm doing like reweaving and pulling things out and clearing energy, and it's just
wow.
Portal.
It's a portal. What does that dragon have a name? Did you name the dragon?
Desmond. And if I tried to make up a name consciously, I wouldn't have picked that. But
no, I think they tell them to you. One of my client works with skulls.
Yes.
Yeah, she's a skull channel. Oh yeah. Oh my God.
It's a clear quartz with golden healer, what they call a traveler skull, which is connected to the galactics.
Yeah, that's like an extraterrestrial one. Wow, I got chills with that one. Oh my, and there are 2 there. There's a big one and a little one.
Yeah, there's the big one, which I was gonna sell this. I was taking photos, little photo shoot to put it up, and I heard in my head, it's like, no, my name is Esme, and I'm here to support you in teaching your classes. I was like, okay, she's not for sale.
Yeah,
never
mind. Can
mind.
I just tell you? Do you know when I bought those Mary crystals from you, I was going to give one away, and they were like, nope, we have to stay together.
Oh,
we can't. Sweet. Yeah, I see yours over there.
Yeah, I've got one here. I thought of you. So I was like, let bring one of these as just an example of
Yeah.
that like goddess, divine feminine kind of symbolism and energy. And rose quartz, especially, is just such a gentle, sweet,
Yeah.
compassionate,
They
loving.
work in tandem. They really do.
Love that.
The two ones that you, and then Terry, when she came to New York on the Galentine retreat, she brought me I should go bring it so you could see it. You know how she is like so attuned to the crystals. Um, it's a raw rose quartz on the bottom as the base, and then the top is a pyramid and polished.
Oh, yeah.
And these act at like when my kids are off, I put the rose, the one she got here, and I put one in the left and one in the right, and it does a heart healing on my kids. I couldn't give it away. I was gonna give it to a friend of mine, and they didn't want to separate. I understand that. Wait, I want to go back.
Mhm.
Tell us about dragon medicine. What are the dragons here to do as far as ascension and bringing higher consciousness? And because I want to talk about crystals, but I didn't know that you were a channeler of dragon medicine, and because they've recently just shown themselves to me, I would say in the past maybe year and a half, and I'm very aware of that energy. So like now that you're talking about it, I would love to hear about that, like just as a little aside, because that's really interesting.
Yeah. Well, and I work with a teacher of mine who works with dragons also, with a dragon collective, and her way of working with them and the energy that they come through and show up for her and through her is very different than the way that they come through me. um,
I would love to know your perspective.
yeah, yeah. So I was just gonna say, like, just kind of noticing that like if a skull or a dragon kind of feels like intimidating to you as a portal or as a crystal thingy, like they're very respectful to meet me where I'm at. Because if
Mm,
they came in like full force the way that they do for her, I'd be like, no, 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 I can't do that.
right.
But they come in with imagery, and they come in with sensations, and they come in with light language ish type of, healing tools. And it just feels very, for me, sometimes it's very emotional, the messages that they bring through. And I can tell that they're just passing through me. And like, I'll have a client message me after they listen to one, are you okay? Let's, you sounded really upset on the recording. I was like, I was fine. As
Yeah.
soon as I turned the recording off, I closed the portal. It wasn't, about my own journey.
Connection.
It came
Right,
through
right.
me, so it helped heal me at the same time.
Mhm.
For me, the underlying theme through every interaction that I've had dragon related is that, like, that first message of like, remember how powerful you are.
Mm.
That empowerment, it's that reawakening. You have everything within you that you need. You've forgotten it. It's still there. It didn't go away just because you don't remember it. And
Mm.
just like the more little by little, you build your resilience up to process that energy, right? The more you're
Right.
able
To
to activate it and
to perceive
embody it.
it and embody it. Okay, thank you. I just was like, I wanted to hear about that. Okay, so the crystals now, like something opened within you when you came back from this retreat. And this is what I always say about retreats. They put you on different timelines. It was like you raised your vibrational frequency to a place where you were then, okay, now I'm going to really step into my soul's purpose and be a person who, can support the codes of some people are guardians of the ley lines. I mean, it can overlap, of
Mhm.
course, right? But like ley lines and like you for with the trees and the crystals and dragons and the unique way that you do it through you. And I know you're also an artist because you've also created beautiful art for some things for me. So tell us about your crystal journey. So you started this and you said, okay, like I'm being shown to now have a beautiful crystal store, and I see your lives and I see what you do, and it's like, is it right where you are? Can you show us
It
where
is, but I'm on a desktop
Oh,
computer.
you're on a desktop.
Um,
Okay. All
yeah,
right.
but it is, I might be able to turn the camera a little bit and see
Yeah,
kind of
let's
all the
see
lighting. I wonder,
that room.
you just on this other side,
Oh,
here is the whole crystal studio.
that's perfect.
So I've got, yeah, all my fancy lighting equipment and a couple of tables that I show for the live. And then I've got two back walls of inventory where all the goodies, where I can say like, oh, somebody wants soda light? I have soda light. Yes, I do. Let me grab
Right.
it.
All
So
right. So
it's
so
really
tell
fun.
yeah, so tell us, I mean, even maybe what's there, and if you want to show us more or aspects, I would love to just like show everyone the magic that you have and like the different shapes. Like one of those is in the shape of, is that Kuan Yin?
I've got a big Kuan Yin here, yeah, in white jade.
Whoa.
She's amazing. Beautiful, compassionate, just gentle forgiveness energy. And then it being in such a light colored stone too. It's just, and she's heavyweight. So
Right.
if you like worked with her, like to layer on your chest or something, it would be like grounding at the same time, and you could ground that energy into your heart. I absolutely love, like you were mentioning, the crystal on my chest plate, especially like a flat crystal that's nice and cool, because I get the hot flashes these days.
I know. Can I just tell you, did you just get a hot flash when you picked her up?
Yes,
So
yeah.
did I.
Yeah, too.
What is that?
They
I
they
literally just
carry a
got a hot.
lot of energy. Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm in a sweat as soon as you picked her up. I just got fully activated from her.
Yeah, so she's moving something through, clearing something out, waking something up, tending to us without
Wow.
without
Wow.
needing much invitation. Um, so yeah, I'm especially drawn, and I especially have focused my business on crystal dragons and crystal goddesses, because those are things that just really light me up. And I have mostly items for sale that I want to have on my own altar that feel sacred to me. So, I choose them sort of with that criteria. So I expanded a little bit my altar, that this is my day-to-day desk, but I added a few more items in here for us to be able to chit chat about.
Yeah, let's see.
There's the whimsical ones, like
Oh.
actually, let me just grab a piece of paper to put behind it. That might help.
Oh yeah. Wow. And that's jade?
It's green aventurine,
Oh, uh-huh.
which is great for prosperity, great for luck. And then this is, the lucky cat. It's just like
Right.
whimsical. So, some people are gonna like a Sekhmet.
Whoa.
This
Is
is
that
just
a
my
black obsidian?
black obsidian. Yeah, this is my biggie Sekhmet. I actually kept 3 of these for myself. But I have some more coming in, and then I have a little smaller size.
And
But
could you tell everyone who Sekhmet is? The goddess of, she's an Egyptian goddess that's lioness, right? And
he
cat.
is lioness energy. And yes, I'm forgetting my stories about her at the moment on the spot, but I really associate her with strength and guardianship and
Right.
setting that boundary, that protective energy, that strong female empowerment energy. There's the soft of the Marys and the Kuan Yins, and she's like,
Fierce.
yeah, the Sekhmets and the Durgas are like holding ground, holding space. You
I
shall
love
not
the,
pass unless you're
yeah.
high vibe.
Yeah, I
Um,
love that. I love that that fierce divine feminine energy that we need that. Kali Ma and Durga and Sekhmet.
yes, we do. And it's I'm just learning to get in touch with that at this age, just learning. I mean, Utah I mentioned. So
Yeah.
my early formative years were like, no, kids are quiet. Women especially are quiet.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
You don't have something nice to say, keep it to yourself, no contrary opinions, no questions. So I am still in a process of unlearning that. So dragons help me with that because they have that just like unquestioning, fierce energy. They can be soft and cuddly and sweet and hang out with you, but like a lion or a dragon, like something is in the air, they're on alert and they've got the
Right,
boundary, right?
right,
They've
right.
got your back. This one is cool. So in terms of like shapes, ideas, this is a wand in black obsidian with a dragon hat on the top.
Whoa.
I love wands for activating a crystal grid. If you were doing like spell work or creating sacred oils or anointing oils, using this to stir it and, you know, feel a little extra witchy. Beautiful for like cord cutting,
Yeah,
energy clearing, moving it in front of the body and setting that intention as well. Then black
that's a
obsidian is
that's
really,
black obsidian, right?
yeah, really grounding, really purifying. I love black obsidian
Yeah,
and black tourmaline.
I have a black obsidian knife.
Nice. Yes.
Did you ever see these?
Yes. I have. Yeah. I have some of those on my site as well, too.
Yeah,
Really good.
this are used for cord cutting.
Yeah. Black obsidian and then the selenite knives as well. And then if you've
Mhm.
got one of each, you've got that polarization of the light and the dark. One of the things I was going to mention is harmonizers with crystals.
What are
So,
those?
so like these in particular that I just happen to have here, it's just a light energy stone.
Oh,
It's a peach moonstone with some pretty blue flash. I don't know if it's going to talk in the light right there, and a big chunk of black tourmaline. I love to hold one in each hand, like you were talking about. You do one in each hand and on your heart, but a grounding stone and an uplifting stone, right? So you've got the different polarity
yes.
energies. And then I just intuitively move this around to different like meridian points or just wherever it feels on my body. And I'll kind of pay attention to with the intention of balancing the right and the left. So part of my healing has been noticing I was doing acupuncture and meditation um, and then the acupuncturist confirmed it, right? From his perspective too. I was just like, I feel like I'm not like my left and my right energies, my masculine, my feminine, you know, they're not balanced.
Right.
And so during the acupuncture sessions, I just started meditating, imagining like the DNA strand just weaving.
Mm.
You remember like the old fashioned candy, that like the
Yes,
ribbon
yes,
candy.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
So it
of
was like
course.
ribbon candying that energy all through my body, right to left, right to left, right to left, balancing that energy. And he came back in after the session and said, like, okay, did you just do something different? I was like, oh yeah, actually did. He's like, whatever you did, keep doing that because that worked. I was like, your
Oh,
energy is completely different right now. You did the exact right thing.
wow. Isn't that amazing how our minds and our intention, and then even how you're using the crystals to support that, literally just balanced you out. And, someone who's very much, like in that Chinese medicine modality is able to perceive that.
Yeah, yeah, it was really interesting because he's looking at it from like a meridian energetic
Yeah, yeah,
testing perspective. And I was just
right.
like, I could just
Pulsing,
feel
right? The
I
pulsing.
feel that energy move. And I also had like, since I came back from Italy, every time I closed my eyes, I would see this like black and coral kind of lava lamp swirling behind my third eye.
Uh-huh.
And during that particular session, the color changed from coral to like a fuchsia maroon color.
Wow, you brought it up to like a
It was
different.
it was interesting. It was interesting. It was like literally for like a year it had been one color and then it shifted to that pink color tone instead. And then shortly after that, I stopped seeing that color behind my third eye. So it was just like another validation of that energy. That energy was connecting, the energy was shifting, the energy was getting unstuck and moving through and getting back to its natural flow of where it needed to be. But body talk is a methodology of body work as well, which I've just done a little intro bit of training on. But one of the principles in there that helps me to remember and that I use in related to this, ties in with why this works for me, is to connect that our left brain and right brain and our left sides of the body and the meridians need to reconnect to each other like on a daily basis. And so if I just touch the front of my right shoulder, I would touch the back of my left hip and just hold that and imagine like that energy connecting between those 2 points.
I'm bugging out that you're saying this right now. Of course you're saying this because I go to a body worker and every single time she goes to my feet, like she feels in the feet in the meridians where the blockages are, it's always, I'm choking, the right shoulder and the left hip.
Oh,
I
that's funny.
can't even believe it. And she's
That's
like,
funny because
and
it's the opposite for me. My left shoulder is what gives me trouble, and then if it
it's
would
right
be the
here.
other side. But yeah, I did.
Wow.
That's the first time I would have done it from that direction. So that's you.
Wow, I can't, I needed to hear that. Now, do you hold the the light crystal and does it matter which hand?
I just intuitively like if it feels like I want to switch it, then I just switch it. And I just
Yeah.
move it around different parts of my body and I just hold it for however long it feels like till it feels like it's talking to each other, until it's balancing itself out. So
I'm just, yeah,
they call it harmonizers. Sometimes you'll see like a crystal set that's like a kind of a column of
right.
a shungite and a selenite or something like that. But really, like I've done it with any crystal that I can fit in my hand that's sort of like a grounding, and then another one that's a higher, lighter.
I'm doing it right now.
Yes, exactly. That would work perfectly.
These are over here, so
I would do that and just notice like where on the body it wants to go, because it's helping to reconnect those energies and help them remember like, oh yeah, this is where we're supposed to be. I got kind of mucked up in that traffic today, but
right.
oh yeah, there's this natural pathway of where the energy is supposed to flow. I remember now.
Oh my God. Okay, I love that. What else do you have to show us and tell us? Like,
Let's see, what did I bring? One of my favorite materials is lepidolite.
oh,
This is an
ooh.
ankh, a great biggie ankh in lepidolite, which ranges from kind of a burgundy in the like raw. Actually, I've got like a gem lepidolite on
Ooh.
today that has that mica flash in it. It's usually between a lavender and a dark purple with these sort of cloud speckles. And then this pink in this one is petalite inclusion as well too.
Wow.
Brings in another property, but I just like it because it makes it look prettier, I think. But you've got, the ancient Egyptian Ankh symbolism, which is so important in lots of different traditions, representing the cross, representing the masculine and the feminine. Lots of different practices use this symbol. And then if you just notice, if you're drawn to that symbol as a support to you, it's an ancient sacred symbol. So whenever, like Sanskrit, whenever there's an ancient sacred symbol that's been used for millennia, it carries its own lineage with that, right? So you're tapping in. It's like if you open a book, you're opening that entire lineage, that entire portal of information on that topic. So, just notice and honor, like if you're drawn to a particular symbol, there's some type of medicine that's in there for you. Maybe you don't have to have it in crystal form. Maybe it's just like you write it on a piece of paper and put it under a candle, just like do whatever naturally feels good to you. Lepidolite is beautiful for trauma healing, beautiful for empaths. So people typically go to sodalite for empaths and sensitivity. So it's really like easily accessible. Sodalite's great. I love that as well. That was sort of one of my starter crystals to my addiction. It's like I feel too many things. What will help this stop and slow down a little bit?
Right.
Sodalite is great for that. I've got like a sodalite candle holder that I put on my altar, and when I'm like wanting to sort of just soothe and settle my energy down, rose quartz is many people's go-to for soothing.
Yes.
So when I was doing early trauma processing, my nervous system, what I remember that is my nervous system was super activated, like in fight or flight all the time.
Mm.
I kept thinking, oh, I should get rose quartz. I should get rose quartz. And I had rose quartz, but it just like, it was as if it were a piece of paper or something. It just it wasn't what I needed. I didn't have any reaction to it. But amethyst, which
Oh my gosh.
so I've got several of these. I can't believe these are still in stock. I'm completely addicted to them. I kept like at least 3 for myself. I have them all over my house. But I could not get enough amethyst. I was just like, anything I could find that was an amethyst in that early nervous system healing period, it was just such amazing good medicine for me, because it's one of the master healers, and people think of it as just like, oh, well, if I'm just working with my, third eye or my crown chakra, that's when I want amethyst. But like it clears energy, it improves mood, it helps like balance and stabilize. It's very healing and soothing, and sort of one of those of like, whatever ails you, it's going to go to that place.
Yes, and I've heard it also like helps with addictions too.
Yeah,
Like that's how soothing it is, instead of like going for something to numb. It's
it's like restoring to your natural state, your natural balance is what I think of as amethyst, of like, it's removing some of the muck. It's making me more me again.
Oh,
That's how I think of amethyst.
And that's an interesting shape. That's a double pointed.
Yeah, double terminated DT. So people working in Reiki or body energy work particularly like the double terminated, because of that, like kind of directing the energy in 2 specific locations. So they might lay it on the body in a particular direction. They're beautiful for crystal grids as well. I don't pay a huge amount of attention to the shapes. I really like advocate for people to just go with whatever you're drawn to. If you're drawn to it, it's for a reason. There's medicine for you. There are lots of great ideas and ways to work with things. If you come up with a different way and somebody said to do the opposite, but that's what feels right to you, then just listen to your own body, listen to your own intuition, your own wisdom, your own guides are letting you know what's medicine for you.
Okay. Anything else? I feel like I'm like a kid in a candy store, like, show us more.
I've Gumby up here.
Hi, Gumby.
He's not a crystal, but he's a little whimsy. I gotta have a little whimsy in my altars always. I have just a little, I don't know if you can see.
Oh yeah.
Chakra crystal set, just some tumbles. So this would be a really like accessible, affordable, easy way if you wanted to start working with crystals. But like somebody who walks into a crystal store and is overwhelmed and like, I don't even know where to start, I don't even know what I need, I would always say clear quartz.
Yeah, that's like the best, like all purpose.
Yes, right? Yeah, master healer, the big daddy. It's going to it helps purify and uplift and clear out energy. It's really programmable when you think of like if I'm doing a meditation and there's some particular healing coming through, and I typically, if it's a big energy or big transition or big shift for me that is potentially going to be brought through with that download, with that energy, holding a clear quartz, and I will ask that clear quartz to store the information for me. Sort of like, I don't want to get like, I don't want my doors blown off because there's a lot of medicine here for me, but I need it titrated in a way that I can integrate it slowly over time. And clear quartz is a beautiful, highly programmable, happy to help in any way that you ask it to. So asking it to store that information of an energetic download. And then,
Wow.
as you continue to meditate with that, just like
It
kind of integrate it
easy.
out a little
Yeah.
bit at a time. So I have, this is one of my favorite initial crystals is a
I was
Lemurian
gonna
that,
say, I see the Lemurian codes in
yeah, it's
there.
got the barcodes
Whoa.
that I use in meditation. So this is like if I'm
Ooh,
watching a guided meditation or something and they say, okay, grab a crystal, I always get this one.
and I see the window in it too. I see the window on it. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just, it just feels really good in the hand, the way that it's shaped and the size and the weight and the coolness and all of that. So it's one that I've like, the more you work with any particular crystal, any particular goddess, like any particular energy, right? The more you form an energetic relationship with it, and the more it's
Yeah.
going to kind of understand how it can support you and what you need. And the more your guides are going to be like, oh, okay, I can use this to amplify what I'm trying
Yeah.
to get through to you. Use that for your
Can you
good.
can
And
you
then,
tell
like I
us
was
about the
saying,
Lemurian quartz? Like those fascinate me because they really are here to awaken, to remember, I think, right? Lemuria, which is the place where we're stepping into in our 5D and higher consciousness. Um, what so Lemuria so clear quartz, like I have a piece of clear quartz, but it doesn't have those markings, right? I have Lemurian upstairs, but this is like plain old clear,
yeah,
and yours is Lemurian, which has
it,
the codes, right?
yeah, it looks like it has barcodes, and like the Lemurian seed will usually especially be defined by like every other facet
Right, right,
has that coded information.
right.
Um, and then yeah, in order to work with it from that barcode perspective is as if it were a worry stone, right? Rubbing your thumb or your thumbnail just kind of along those different barcodes is another way to just sort of transmit that information and that data into your energy system.
Mm,
And always like you're sovereign, and your system and your higher self and your what I call my sacred love team, my team of like my guides and my counsel and all that, they're always going to be on duty for me so that I don't have to worry about like, oh, but like what's going to come through? Who's sending me messages? What's that about?
right,
I'm only going to receive what is going to help me during this lifetime. And I have that as an intention with all the spiritual work that I do.
right.
And my guides are on duty for that with that boundary and that intention.
I love the Sacred Love Team.
Yes, that just feels like a warm hug to me as a name
It,
for them.
it really does. Thank you for that.
Then the idea of having just the chakra stones,
Yeah.
like if you look at sets of 7 different color rainbow bands of crystals, different vendors and different suppliers are going to have different stones that they've chosen. There's not one stone that's good for the root chakra and only one stone that's good
Right.
for the sacral and the solar plexus, the heart chakra, the throat chakra, the third eye, the crown. But like general rule of thumb, like is to just look at the colors in a rainbow. And those darker, deeper, more grounded colors are going to be lower in the chakras.
Mm.
So if you just had a little set of, they could even be like crystal chips.
Right.
Spent $1 and bought 7 crystal chips at a crystal store. There's just, if you wanted to try working with one chakra at a time, and just holding that. I love crystal chips to put into a candle.
Yeah.
And sprinkle in there. I know people get freebie crystal chips and like, what do I do with these? Put them in your candles, put them in your plants, put them out in the garden and say thank you to the fairies.
I love that. This is such great ideas.
Ways to connect. Amazonite or Amazonite is a
Yeah.
favorite of mine.
That was the one that caught my eye when you held up those tumbled ones. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, it's so soothing.
And it goes into like the deep teal turquoise colors too. Sometimes it has like that pearlescent iridescent flash on it as well. Sometimes it's like that gemmy transparency, almost like an aquamarine can get. But amazonite to me is that like clearing the throat chakra blockages of being afraid to speak my truth. I see amazonite as like a tired of fucking playing nice. That worked for a while and I survived because I learned how to do that. It got me to
It
live
kept
this
me
long.
safe, right?
But if I'm going to up level, I'm going to need to like be me, and be me is speaking what's true instead of denying what's true. And a big part of my trauma healing was unlearning self-abandonment, unlearning all of the programming that I absorbed, consciously and unconsciously, intentionally, that I agreed to and that I didn't agree to, different types of relationships and even lifetimes, that what felt right to me wasn't true.
I could relate.
Yeah. Well, and like growing up in really chaotic, word of one of my counselors, your childhood was very chaotic. I was like, what? Yeah, it was. There were things going on that it, like, let's just give the example of like dating, right? So a mom who's post-divorce dating and bringing different energies sort of around kids and into the home. Like I had really good radar as a kid.
Right.
Her radar was not good at all.
Mm.
And I would tell her, and she needed to believe something different. She was at a different place in her development, right? So she would tell me that what I knew was wrong, tell me that everything I felt in every cell of my body was not right, was not true. And that if any authority figure told me that what I thought was true wasn't true, then I needed to follow what they said instead of what felt true to me. And I was a really good student of that. I learned it really well.
So did I. I realized the same thing too, when all the things that I said were made not to be like, no, that's not true. And then you start to question your, your intuition, and you look for an outside authority to tell you because you just so much been told it wasn't true. Wow, it's like such a similar thing. I didn't know that. And Amazonite helps to literally open that up.
Yes, yeah, it's for me. I know I've read lots of different other properties about it, but for me, as soon as I met it, I was like, no, speak your truth. It's okay to speak your truth. You're safer now to speak your truth. We're going to clear that out. We're going to like dissipate those old contracts that have made consciously, unconsciously, this lifetime, Atlantean lifetime, whatever it was. If you're going to move forward and really be true to who you are, you've got to learn this new skill set of speaking your own truth. And
Yeah.
that now
Wow.
you're a grown up and it's okay. You can manage the consequences of that.
And I would say also now's the time on planet Earth that everybody's ready to hear your medicine and all that you're here to show up for and channel and do and be and holding space. So tell everyone in our group how, like what, I know you host live on Instagram. Um, and that's the best. So I have your website. I know everybody could see it here, but like the most fun things, and I've caught it sometimes, are the live sales you do on Instagram. And I'm going to post your shop here too. Tell us about that.
So most Sundays on Instagram, I'm not a Facebook fan, so I'm not very active on there anymore, but
Yeah.
been loving Instagram. There's just a really sweet community of people that jump in to watch and chat during the live crystal sale. So it's I've been pretty consistent up until just lately. I think I'm going to spread it out a little bit more, but generally Sundays from 12 to 2 Los Angeles time. So a couple
Okay.
hours a week, and it's just like playing with all the beautiful new crystals. I get new stock in almost every week. Lots of, yeah, all the different goodies. Like I said, I especially love dragons and goddesses and the pinks and the purples and the girly things, and yeah, some of the badass things, the skulls and the dragons.
Love it. I love it
Set some
so much.
boundaries, but yeah, that's the funniest way to do it, because I do have I've got Etsy as well as my website. Those both have
Oh, okay.
the same stock and inventory, but I always bring my new inventory to the live sale table first.
Right. Right. And I would imagine your website is without Etsy taking a cut, like to have the storefront, right? That's the most
Yeah.
direct way, right? Is either Instagram, because I remember I saw Terry's mother, Mary, and I messaged you. I was like, "Show me what you got." And she's the one that I got spoke to me. It's like so clear. I got the I can't believe I think I had a similar reaction when I saw mine, but as that Kuan Yin, oh my God, that Kuan Yin, we both got a hot flash.
Yeah. The website, yeah, Etsy is nice because it draws people in, and it has the nice feature that you can favorite things. So
Oh, I
some
see.
people like to save their favorites on Etsy, but then come over to the website because then there's no tax on the website.
Oh, so there you
Just
go.
a
All
nice
right.
bonus.
Yeah, that's another plus. All right, so let- um I Googled everything. So it would let me look up your Etsy would be Sol Prima, I would imagine.
So
Yeah,
Prima Crystals.
yeah.
And then, yeah, that's what it is on Facebook as well.
Here you are.
And Instagram. Yeah, all three of those are Soul Prima Crystals. And then soulprima.com is my shop.
Everything's so beautiful that you do. Your art,
Thank
like I
you.
come to this and it's like my heart goes, oh,
Nice.
I love it. Yeah, look at how
Yeah.
beautiful these. Oh my God, everything is so beautiful. And this is the thing too, I want to tell everyone in Crystalline, it matters, like in my opinion, like where you get crystals from. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the energy of where it comes from, like the energy in which you hold it and host it. You're in a forest in the Pacific Northwest. You're a channeler of, you know, dragon energy and a true healer, a true sister. Like I adore you and, always just like you are amazing. And it's like when I opened that package from you, I was like, I literally was like, wah, 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 wah. I mean, even the way you wrapped it, I was like, this was just so. And again, I was going to gift one to my friend. She could, but I needed to have both. I needed to
Yeah, they'll
have,
let you know what they
yeah, yeah.
I do like all of the crystals. I have them. I bought them wholesale because I fell in love with them. So they all get loved on before they go. They get loved on as they're wrapped. I wrap each one like a present. I wanted to
Yes.
feel that nurturing and that little blessing of self-care. And then I do crystal sample and clearing, energy clearing on all of my
Oh,
crystals as they come in the door, when
of
they first
course.
arrive, before they come into the space, and then before they go out into the mail, I give them a blessing to support them in returning to their natural resonance, and then bringing the highest vibration and healing to the recipient, and safe travels during the
Yeah.
mail. So anybody they encounter, I want them to be blessed with
I
happiness.
love that. I love that. And it really does come across in everything. I mean, you
Thank you.
you really are just an extraordinary soul and a beautiful sister, and I am so grateful that you said yes to speak in Crystalline. Eileen is live on the call. Eileen, do you have any questions? Or anything? Eileen sometimes is like
No,
working.
no, this was
Yeah.
beautiful though. This was so informative. Thank you so much, Leslie.
You are so welcome. Nice to meet you. Meet your sweet voice and your energy and all the lovelies who
We're
are going
so
to
lucky to
listen.
have you. We're so lucky to have
I
you. Thank
know.
you so much.
Thank
All right,
you.
and I have one question. Is crow one of your spirit animals? Do you call them?
Yes.
Me
And
too.
Raven. Yeah.
Oh, crow raven. Yeah.
Yeah. This gorgeous was painted by a high school friend of mine, and she had posted it. Let's see if it'll.
Wow.
Can I get her closer?
Crow keeps coming to me a lot. Oh
How
yeah.
gorgeous is this?
Whoa. Woo.
She painted this on a piece of denim and had posted it on Facebook or something. And I was like, oh my God. I just like absolutely fell in love with it. And then she gifted it to me next time I saw her.
Oh my God, it's
One of my sweet,
beautiful.
she does sound healing. So high vibe too. But yes, love that Raven energy, their messengers. I had literally in the 30 minutes after my dad passed, before I was notified, a raven came and visited me on the closest possible branch just outside my window, and I knew it was him. And I knew
Wow.
ravens are like really,
Right.
really effective messengers.
Wow. Crazy cool. Yeah, I work with a lot of crow medicine through the lineage of Isis.
Love that juicy stuff.
Just a good goddessy stuff. Well,
Gotcha.
I am just so grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All of the beautiful ladies will follow you on Instagram, go to your website, and anything that what is that? Oh,
I have a little freebie guide
oh,
to 10 ways to work with crystals. So I will, what I did, I hopefully it worked. I was just this morning. So I listed it on my website as a $0 item.
oh, smart.
People could go to my website and just like pay $0 to buy it. And then I will figure out the next step to get the PDF to people.
Yeah, there's a download. There must be like you must be able to email it to people.
Yes, there is I use Shopify for my website, and there is a function for downloadable materials. I just haven't quite learned how to do that yet. So that's coming. But in the meantime, if you pop in there, then that will give me your
What
email information, and then I can get it back to you
what is
in PDF form.
yeah, maybe will you message me the direct link to that? Wait, let me just see because hold on. I would like to
Yeah,
post
hopefully
that
it
so
shows
everybody
on there.
let me see. I'm at soulprima.com. Follow. Oh gosh. Your website is gorgeous. Fun
Oh,
things,
you.
spears, sale. Where's the book? Where would the book be?
I
Let's see.
just, let's see if we did, I
Should I
don't
do a
have it like
search?
flagged as a catalog. Yeah, I would do search.
What is it called? What is it
Okay,
called?
so I just typed in download in the search function.
Download. Okay, let me find it. Yes. PDF download 10 ways to work. All right, I've got it. I love
Cool. So yeah, you could just copy that link right there and it would take folks to
got
it
it. I'm gonna
directly.
put it. So what I'm doing is I'm gonna put it in the chat, which everybody watching can see, and then I in our Facebook group, like we have a private Facebook group, I'm gonna list your website, your Instagram, your Etsy, and this link so everyone can
Okay.
get their beautiful book. And I know you're just such a beautiful designer, and
Thank
that
you.
book looks gorgeous. So thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, lots of flower medicine, moon medicine. I love the roses.
Yes. Did you get her new deck? Did you get the rose deck?
I did, yes.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
I love it. I didn't at first. As soon as I opened it, I was like, oh, it's so muted. I wanted it to be more vibrant. And
Yes,
then I started working with it and I was like, damn.
me too. Me too. It was hard to see the pink writing, and I'm like, it's a little, and then I'm just like obsessed.
Yeah, yeah. Once I actually like started working with it and did a couple of readings, it was like right on point. So that was super fun. Love Rebecca's stuff.
Me too. And I
It's been
love
so
your
sweet,
stuff. Thank
so
you
sweet to
so
connect
much.
with you.
Mwah, mwah, mwah. I love you, sister. Thank you
You.
so much.
Bye,
And
lovelies.
bye. See you soon. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.